because I saw a bunch of stuff on Tumblr.
Always a huge supporter.
I was actually wondering what made you guys want to audition for Supernatural?
Welcome to the family. How many episodes have you seen?
All of them a few hundred times.
I was really excited to do a show that was very different than the one that I was currently doing, though I love what I was currently doing. But I've been a fan of the X-Files, I've been a fan of like Twilight Zone growing up, my dad and I would watch it. And so I liked the genre. I didn't want to do a campy, supernatural themed, sci-fi themed show like Buffy or Angel. They're all fun, charmed, they're all great, but I didn't want to do that show. But I was like, if it's an X-Files type show in Twilight Zone, yeah, absolutely. And then reading the script, and I'm a lifelong Star Wars fan, and we talked earlier with the archetypes, and so I immediately clicked with the story and the overarching storylines in the archetypes, and I just thought it was a great, cool idea, and I was excited to do one episode of it. One episode of it.
Let's be honest, we were in our 20s and we were looking for work.
Yeah, that too.
And here comes along a script that is getting some pretty good feedback and they are interested in us. Where do I sign?
How much do I have to pay?
Yeah. What's the story about? Actually, I don't care. It's a job, and I'm in. What do I have to do? Oh, I have to put on a gym teacher's outfit? Okay. I can do it.
Get a room with bees? Yeah, okay.
All right, we can do that. It's, I would say that, Jared and I have gone out and auditioned and tried out for numerous projects. Some that were really bad, some that were really good, and we didn't get any of those.
And we just so happened that there was a show that came along, and they were interested in us from the start almost. Luckily, because we had a couple of people that were involved with the producing side of it that knew who we were, and so that relationship really kind of paid out. And it just so, it was just kind of a bonus that the script was so great, the characters were so good, and that Eric was such a talent, and here we are today. So it's nobody could.
And here y'all are today.
Thank you.
Hey guys, so my question is, if you could do another alternate universe episode like It's a Terrible Life, what kind of jobs would you like to see Sam and Dean have?
Working at Toys R Us! Welcome to my world!
Yeah, no retail, probably. They'd probably be short-term, especially Dean.
Can you imagine Dean at like a Toys R Us?
Oh my God!
Well, he's good with kids.
Sir, this dresser is missing a screw. Figure it out. Get some duct tape.
Excuse me, sir, do you mind if I climb up and grab the car up there? I don't care if you shoot someone in front of me.
I guess I could be like, Sammy will probably be a good maintenance guy, because I'm always the guy that they're like, can you reach that off the top? Can you like, change that light bulb? I'm like, yeah. The paint strippers? Oh, it's paint strippers.
The body shop, right?
Yeah, the body shop.
Magic Winchester.
Oh, never mind, Magic Winchester.
Magic Winchester XXL.
A suitcase just fainted. And then the suitcase just went, all on its own. Is there someone in there? I think Sam would like to be a teacher, but I think Jared would like to be a teacher, so.
A surf instructor.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys. You're amazing, just by the way.
You're amazing.
So my question is, what is your guys' favorite memory from the set?
Wow, there are a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's like, what was your favorite memory of the past 10 years of your life?
She's like, easy, last Monday. There have been a lot. There is a crazy, crazy, crazy special feeling on the last day of filming each season. It's the coolest, probably like the last hour or two of shooting each season, I get this indescribable feeling. Like, we talked about this. We're so, like, almost one-track minded, like singular focus during the season. You know, we're at work. We got to tell these guys stories. We have to honor Sam and Dean Winchester the same way y'all do. You know, we have to bring them to life, and it becomes a singular focus. And right about kind of halfway through the last day, they start seeing the light. You know, yeah, the light at the end. But it's not saying the tunnel's over. There will be another tunnel, but at least you're out of this one. And it's this cool feeling, like graduating high school or college or something. You're like, oh my God, we did it. Like, we did it. It's over. It's over. There's a really cool, it's really difficult to quantify, like to have feelings of success within the year because you're working. You're like, you know, if episode 1 ends, tomorrow's episode 2. When episode 2 ends, tomorrow's episode 3. And you're going and going. And every day on the way home from work, you're working on what you have to do the next day. If it's Friday, you're already like flipping through, like, okay, what am I doing Monday? Okay, I'm gonna have to start working on that Saturday. So Saturday midday when the kids are asleep, you're kind of always planning. But knowing you have that 2.5 to 3 months, 2.5 months, I guess, between seasons, it's always a really cool feeling. So those 10 experiences have been really special.
I've got many. One that comes to mind, and I'm going to say it for you, is watching him fall in love with his wife. Because it was incredible. I mean, poor Jen, she just, you know, poor Jen, all of a sudden she just like had this tail. And I was like following her around, and I knew that as soon as I looked over and Jen sitting in her cast chair, she, you know, she was trying to keep to herself, she was reading a book. And then, I'm not kidding, this is Jared. Sitting with his legs folded, staring up at her, and I'm like, why is he not going back to his trance? Oh, that's happening.
One of my biggest pet peeves in the world is when I'm reading and somebody interrupts me. Unless it's like, hey, your pants are on fire. We do. And I think in the second episode that she filmed, I remember, because she was an English major, she reads all the time. She doesn't read English. And she's a voracious reader, especially before kids. Obviously, kids take a lot of time. But I remember, like, I want to talk to her really bad. And so I remember going up and being like, so what you reading? And she'd be like, Hemingway. I'm like, cool. But I'll like find some Hemingway quotes. I was just thinking, he who doth say, Shakespeare. Obviously it worked. That was a really cool moment. There's been so many, again, you know, going back to Kim Manners and some of the times we spent and shared with them, getting in a room that was essentially the size of a bathroom and filling it with 60,000 bees, and then walking and seeing the whole crew had like bee outfits on.
I'm like, oh, that's great. We have to wear Sam and Dean's costume, which is this, basically. And then Kim just was like, he was like, what are you guys complaining about? Give me an apple box. And he walks into the room, in shorts and a t-shirt, sits down on the apple box, goes, I'll direct from here then. Bees all over him. And we're like, okay, well, we can't let this little guy outman us right now, so we did this thing. But again, like I could sit here for hours and just talk about.
And one day we will.
And one day we will.
Hi. So I haven't decided yet whether I credit my brother or blame my brother for my obsession with Supernatural. So I'm just wondering if any of your siblings have gotten you obsessed with anything.
Oh, I'm sure. A lot of my music taste probably stemmed from my brother. Like, I think when grunge came out, it was more his time than my time, but because we shared a room and listened to the same stuff, so I could probably credit him with Pearl Jam. Yes, I'm happy about it, but that was probably something that my brother paved the way for.
Yeah, I left home when I was pretty young. I was still a teenager. So my sister was 11, and my older brother was already off to college. But I would say, yeah, music I think is certainly one thing that comes to mind. My brother was though. He was a big hair 80s band guy. So, like Whitesnake and the Sheriff, Scorpions. And then that kind of led into getting into the older rock, which was the 70s and the 60s, and then just kind of spiraled out of control from there. But yeah, I certainly took that. And I don't know, if that's my sister or my brother, if I've ever forced them to do anything. I don't think I have, though. There's been a great distance between us just geographically for quite a while, so they're safe for me. Although I know my brother tries to keep up with the show, but he's got, 3 kids and a job, and he's pretty busy, but he'll call me and he'll be like, hey, so I just finished watching episode 10, season 4. I'm like, what? You're in season 11 now. He's like, I know, I'm trying to catch up. So he's probably upset at the fact that I do a TV show, and he needs to kind of stay on top of that. But
Yeah, we don't have to my brother's a surgeon, and I don't have to watch an hour of his surgery.
nor is he expected to. So that is kind of an interesting thing. Are we still good? You guys?
You're good.
You're good.
We haven't.
Why are you watching?
Because we're super fans. This is the best season in the house. You have one more before you have one more.
This is the penultimate question.
Let's get a couple more questions in real quick. Go ahead.
Hi guys.
Hey there.
Since you are obviously really, really amazing fathers, would you be able to share a cute story or a funny story about the kids? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, one of there's a little humming here. As a very dedicated father, I was throwing my son on the bed and put his head into the wall. And then another time, and this may go down as the worst moment in my life, he had a dinosaur toy that's it was hard plastic, and the hard plastic tail came back around, and that's the dinosaurs looking. And it's probably for 7, 8-year-olds to put on their bookshelf. I decided, my son, my dinosaur, so I bought it for him, and I shouldn't have. He was probably 2.5. And we're at the playground, and he's rolling the dinosaur down the slide, and I was like, quit rolling T-Rex down the slide. And I get up and give it to him, and he slides down the slide. He thinks it's the funnest thing. And I was like, quit letting T-Rex fall down the slide. And he does it again. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make T-Rex slide up the slide. Yeah. and not joking, this probably was the worst moment of my life. So I'm glad to share it with you here today. So here I am, like giddy, and I'm on a playground, and I'm happy, and I'm with my kid, and he's happy, and I'm like, T-Rex is coming up the slide, and I freaking launch T-Rex up the slide. T-Rex is not really coordinated necessarily. So hard plastic T-Rex hits the slide, bounces off, propels, flipping through the air, and hits him somewhere in the face. He drops and starts screaming, my eye. My legs went out from under me. I'm like, no joke, like Jen was there, like she still has to like comfort me when I talk about it. And I was like I was going into convulsions, like I didn't think I'd be like this. I was going into convulsions, I thought I just poked his eye out. Finally, we get him to pull his hand away, and probably half a centimeter above his left eye is a little dot where the skin has been punctured. And had it been a centimeter different, I would have blinded my son. So I'm just a really good father.
There was no injuries involved. I just recently, actually, 2 days ago, took JJ, it was her and I, Neil was off doing woman things. Getting her hair done, her nails were fine, whatever. And so I took JJ and we went to this little farm here where they've got like goats, and it's kind of a petting zoo and stuff, and the weather was bad, so there was nobody there. It was just the two of us. The lady was like, yeah, you guys go in and you got the whole place to yourself. So we went out, we were feeding the ducks and feeding the roosters, and we were chasing some chickens, and then with the rabbits and the guinea pigs, and then they had this big thing with little goats. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. We can walk right in and hang out in the goat pen. So I walked in.
Things you don't often say out loud.
So I walked in, I let JJ go. She started running around and like pushing on the goats, and I'm like, oh, that's really good. I'm taking pictures with my phone, and then I look over, and two goats are kind of squared off to each other, and then they just go, boom! And like, one knocks the other one totally like off its feet. I'm like, and we're leaving. I just had visions of her just getting pummeled like that Stride commercial, like with a brand. That's all I saw was JJ going, like, yeah, okay, we're going back to the buddies.
And they're really good at keeping secrets. Like when Jen goes out of town or something, and I have the boys. I love it. We sleep in, we watch Ice Age, we eat pizza, and probably candy all day long.
Ice cream dinners.
And then Molly comes the next day, she's like, how were they? I'm like, great time. Spent on time. We went outside, yada. Hey Tom, did you like yesterday? I ate candy.
Yeah, we are on par for being those dads. So
He must have found it. I don't know how he found it. He still has pizza stains on. His clothes on from like 2 days before. Oh yeah, I'll have the kids every now and again, and she'll be out. She's like, hey, do you want to come meet up? I'm like, sure. And so I'll get the kids and put them in clothes, and then show up at the restaurant, and like they don't have shoes on. And so I guess one of the pictures made it to one of the websites, and the kids weren't wearing shoes, and she was like, I told you to put shoes on. We don't let our kids wear shoes. We're city streets. Fun times.
okay,
It's a learning process.
thank you.
Yeah,
Now,
thank you.
I know that leads us to the last question. Wait. You're on it. Before we get to the last question.
Yes.
There's a few people standing out in this crowd that need to be acknowledged.
Let's do it.
Because we're filming in Vancouver, there's some very important people that have decided to stop by and try to figure out why the heck we're still on air for 10 years. And they're right over there.
Where Cliffy is waving his hands.
So in that section there,
Guys, there's our secret door.
that is...
The rest.
Is that Mike over there? Is that Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
I need if I could just get a burrito warmed up for me, that would be
The rest of them hightail.
And he's hurt himself again. He's going to need some bandages. No, these people, they are true heroes of what we do, and we would not be able to do anything without their incredible expertise and their professionalism. And poor Marion, he has to put up with us he is the one. Marion, stand up, buddy.
First to see us, last to see us. So,